to all my good friends out there on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching my videos. I really appreciate your time and attention very much. Okay, so if you like my videos, please make sure you rate, thumbs up, comment whenever you can, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel because it's really important, helps me keep growing, helps me keep motivated to produce these videos for you free right here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Alright, so check it out. Today I am doing a video for all of my customers who buy my Ranar presses. Okay, so this is for all you who buy Ranar presses, and maybe some of you bought direct from Ranar, but why would you want to do that when you can buy from Catspit and get free shipping plus a lifetime guarantee on the press, right? Yeah, well, you buy Ranar from Catspit Productions. It's the only way to go. Okay, but if you have a Ranar press, I want to show you a few things about what, a few things you should do when you first get the press and set it up, and then we're going to explain a little bit about setting a screen in the Ranar press. Alright, so I'm going handheld for some of this, and down here you're going to have on the base of the press on the Elite Series 2 and also the Vista Series 2 will have the leveling pads, and you're going to need to use those to level the press. Now, the older Vista series presses do not have the leveling pads, so you have to use pieces of wood, chucks, and things like that to level it off. Okay, but the new design of the Vista has the same type of leveling pads you're going to see right now that are on my Elite. This is one of the 4 leveling pads on the Elite Series 2. And the Vista Series 2 will also have these leveling pads. So the first thing you want to do when you get your press and you assemble it is to level the base of the press to your floor. So that means you're going to use all 4 of these leveling pads to get all 4 sides level and squared off to the floor in your shop. Okay, that way you know the base of the press is level. Okay, so first of all, let me apologize. My press is dirty, the shop floor is dirty, and I really need to clean up. It is the 6-month period to clean my press. I usually clean my press twice a year, and I usually mop the floor once a week, but I've been getting a little lazy. So the next step, once you level the base off, what you're going to need to do is level the pallet arm. Okay, so you're going to take the pallet off and put a level on the pallet arm, and then you're going to use the turnbuckle right here. This is the turnbuckle, or the leveling device, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this bolt loosens, and then you can crank the turnbuckle, and it will kind of raise or lower the pallet arm just ever so slightly. Okay, so that you can get a nice level deal like that. Something like that is good enough. Okay, so the first thing is to level the base of the press. Okay, then you're going to come around and do all these turnbuckles with the pallet arm and level off the pallet arm. Okay, and that way you'll know that the pallet and the pallet arm should be level and parallel to the screen. Alright, so once you have the base of the press leveled and you have the pallet arms all leveled off, what you gotta remember how to do is to get the pallet on the pallet arm properly. And the way Ranar makes their brackets, there's actually 2 rollers that slide on top of the pallet arm. Okay, so here's what you gotta do. When you first put the pallet on the pallet arm, okay, it rolls. Okay, and this is the same for MDF or these aluminum. It's the same thing. But because the pallet is a little bit extended over the bracket this way, and we have 2 rollers on the bracket, it does this. Okay, that's when the pallet is completely loose. Okay, so that means what you need to do when you set your pallets is put your hand down here and push the rollers flat. Okay, now the first one you're going to tighten on here will be the side knob. Okay, and that is down over here. And all I'm going to do is snug that just a little bit so it straightens the pallet out to the pallet arm. Now I can go underneath and do the two little knobs on the bottom of the bracket. And remember that you should only need to snug these just a little bit. The pallet should stay put pretty easily, and if you're gouging the enamel a little bit with the bolts, that usually means you cranked it a little bit much, which I do as well. My pallet arms have some nicks on them, you know, from being a little too tight on the side, you know. So I try to watch that, and you just snug them ever so slightly, and it's fine. It's going to stay very well because it's got three. It's got two on the bottom and one on the side. Okay, so here's the pallet bracket, and you can see it has three knobs. So when you push your hand down on the top of the pallet, it's going to make these two little rollers flush or rest on the pallet arm. Then you're going to tighten this one just a little bit to snug it up and make the pallet parallel to the pallet arm, and then proceed to snug these two ever so slightly. Okay, so does that make sense? All right, there's another thing that I want to show you, and this has to do with the micro registration. Okay, sometimes when you get your press from the factory, you buy it from Catspit Productions and I ship it to you free, okay? When you get it, sometimes the micro reg might be a little bit tight or stiff, okay? And that's really easy to fix, okay? It's not anything that's broken, it's just that something got a little tight and too much at the factory, and it happens. But it's not a bad thing, all right? But you're gonna take off, if you find that your micro registration is a little bit tight and stiff, okay, then take your micro reg knobs off, okay, and you do both of them, and take the little washer off, and you'll notice there's a lock nut in each one. I don't know if you can see this one over here with this camera angle, but you can see this one. This is what we're looking at, okay? So if you loosen this little lock nut just a little bit on both of these bolts here, the micro registration locks, okay? You're going to loosen this little lock nut just a little bit. By doing that, it should allow your to move more freely. Like mine on this head is very stiff, so I need to loosen those. Okay, I haven't really gone around on my press and tuned it. This is actually a pretty new press. It's only like 2 years old, and I really haven't, you know, gone through everything like I should. But these need to be moved, loosened a little bit, and that will make it much easier to turn your micro reg. Okay, so check that and adjust that before you start printing, so that when you get to printing it'll be nice and easy. And I'm going to loosen mine right now. And of course, please don't forget that I sell Ranar screen printing equipment with free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. There's no credit card fees, no sales tax except in California. That's a bummer. And I give you a lifetime guarantee on the press, of course. And so, you know, buying your Ranar equipment through Catspit Productions will give you a lot of savings and a lot of special extra customer service benefits. So if you're looking for screen printing equipment, check out my offerings at catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Okay, I think I can get away with just a little adjustable wrench. And I just ever so slightly loosen them, and it makes it a lot easier to turn. See, that made a huge difference right there. Okay, so if your micro reg is a little bit stiff, just go ahead and loosen these bolts just a tad, okay? Once you do that, of course, just put them back together. Okay, that's it. And never monkey grip your micro reg, it's just snug. All of these things should just be snug, no monkey grip. Okay, so now I'm going to try to help you even further and show you how I get the screens in with your screen angle and the off contact. Okay, so first let's pop a screen in here. When you're first setting up, okay, and this, of course, you know, if you're doing a multicolor job, you have to zero out the micro registration and all that, and you should, you know, make sure your press is basically at 0 point on every possible setting that it might have. Okay, and what we're going to do is the first thing you want to adjust is screen angle or warp. All right, now when they make screens like this, the tube is extruded, right? And it's square and parallel to itself. But when they cut it and weld it, they don't necessarily make sure this piece is parallel and square to this one, or this one, or this one. Okay, so that means that sometimes when you put your screen in and you clamp it down, it might stick up at the end. It might stick up here, or it might be pointed down. That is known as your screen warp or screen angle. And the screen warp and screen angle adjustment on the Elite Series 2, it's all tool free. Hands free. I was going to say hands free. Yeah. No, it's tools free. So we can, if I can remember which way those go, we can loosen the warp, screen angle, warp setting, and then I use this thing here to pull the screen up or down. Okay, and you should be able to see the screen's going up, right? And now it goes down. So that's the first setting that you want to look at. And you know, the easiest way to do this is to drop your off contact. My unit has secondary off contact, so it's very easy. Drop the off contact and let the thing sit down in here and see how that screen is kind of, you know, setting on the pallet. If it looks pretty level, you can start to bring your off contact up a little bit. And now with the combination of the off contact, secondary off contact on the bottom, and the screen angle, we're going to set the off contact. So let's take a look at the underside and I'll show you how I do this. Okay, at the very least, maybe I can explain the concept. I'm not sure if I have good enough shots to really show what you might see if you were here taking personal training with me, because we go through all this type of stuff in the one-on-one training that I do here in Phoenix. So, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the screen angle as we adjust the off contact, because as you lift the screen up, you may notice that it might be tilted one way or the other. Okay, so you have to look for that. This screen actually looks pretty good. So we're going to bring it back down, and as we get close, we would look for the fact that the screen is parallel to the pallet and giving us a little bit of off contact. Now, a good idea would be to put a t-shirt on the pallet when you're doing this. Okay, so put a t-shirt on the pallet when you're setting the off contact, because off contact is set from the t-shirt, not from the pallet. If we had to adjust the screen angle, we could do that with this knob here on the Elite Series 2, okay? And adjust both in conjunction. So I can go do this, I can do this, I can adjust the screen angle as I adjust my off contact. Okay, so that's the very cool thing about the secondary off contact on our presses. Okay, so basically with the base of the press leveled off and the pallet arms leveled off, and we have our pallet properly attached to the pallet arm, we just set the screen angle and off contact. Now is the time when you can release the screen and line it up to the little marks. Remember how I do this little thing? And this is the same thing for a multicolor. You know, you would basically do everything that I did for every screen in the multicolor, but instead, you know, you're going to only line up one of these screens to the grid and then, you know, line up the rest of the screens to that, or however you like to do the registration. You know, that's up to you. But the the point is that once the off contact and screen angle is set, you can put the screen in, line it up to your pallet, and lock it in, and when you do so, you should be good to go. Your off contact and screen angle should be proper. You might have to make a little adjustment to off contact depending on how you like it when you start printing, but basically that is what you need to do. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today. I've probably taken up enough of your time, which I have to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. It really means a lot to me. So thanks a lot. Make sure to subscribe and let me Vanna White here. Don't forget to check out CatScreenPrintSupply.com, okay, to get some really killer deals on Ranar equipment with free shipping, no sales tax, no credit card fees, lifetime guarantee on the press. Give me a call if you have questions. All right? Thanks a lot for watching today, and we'll see you next time.